Attorney General Pam Bondi announcing the largest fentanyl bust in our nation's history. Let's take a look at what they're finding. And there is really a story here at the West. As you know, people cross the border. A lot of the cartel activity is there. And now they're flooding those drugs to the West. Look at Las Vegas. You got 2.7 kilograms of cocaine that is caught. You got in Phoenix, 2.4 pounds of heroin, 5 kilograms of cocaine, 72 pounds of methamphetamine. And then if you go all the way to Santa Fe, over 100,000 fentanyl pills. Those are deaths that are going to be followed by that. And if you look at Albuquerque, 396 kilos of fentanyl pills. And always remember, where there's drugs, there's also guns as well. That's why you see those firearms that are there. Let's bring in the Attorney General for the United States, Pam Bondi. Madam Attorney General, thanks so much for joining the program. I just got to ask you the question. When you look at all of those fentanyl pills and the pounds and the kilos there, when you transfer that to the amount of deaths that could have happened in our country, how many people are we talking about?
So Lawrence, they seized 3 million fentanyl pills in that raid, and your graphic was just amazing what you showed. 3 million fentanyl pills. Countless lives. Each pill had the potential to kill a human being, a human life, an American life. And that's why it's so deadly. I've been carrying around a little vial with fake fentanyl in it, the amount it takes to kill you, and it looks like a couple grains of salt, Lawrence. That's all it takes to kill you. They're mixing this stuff up. The precursors are made in China. They're sending it to Mexico. It's coming through our country in all different ways, now through India, now through the northern border. They're attempting through the mail, all different ways. But this stuff had been in our country when our borders were wide open. The main leader, you showed Salem, Oregon. That's where he was located, Sanchez Arroyo. He was the main leader of this gang. They're all Sinaloa cartel. He had drugs in 4 other states. You showed Colorado, Phoenix, Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where all these pills were located. 49 firearms and almost $5 million in cash was seized as a result of this raid. That's the worst guy on the bottom right there in the graphic you just showed. But all of those people worked for them. 6 of them were illegal aliens, all of them Sinaloa cartel members, worst of the worst, and Donald Trump took them off the streets and saved countless lives.
And Madam Attorney General, this is the criminal enterprise up the border, crossing the individuals off. You got the human bodies, human trafficking, the drugs, and the guns as well. It's one enterprise. I want to talk about another investigation that your FBI has opened up into the 764, these predators online. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, and thanks for bringing that up. That's so important, Lawrence. This is where, if I said from instant message to instant nightmare, parents need to monitor what your kids are doing on the internet. Your kids have no right to privacy on the internet. These monsters, we just arrested 2. They were Americans, but they were hiding out in Greece. They're going after our kids on social media platforms, on gaming sites, on any way they're on the internet. They're targeting our children. And what they're doing is they're infiltrating our society. It's the darkest of the dark. They're getting children to self-mutilate. They're getting children to abuse animals and then in turn abuse others. It's a horrific thing, and there are countless victims throughout this country. You're going to hear at 10:45 today, Director Patel and I are making an announcement about a separate child exploitation ring, completely separate from this. But yeah, 764, our FBI, they've been on it. They've been arresting these guys. They've been monitoring it. It's the darkest of the dark. But children are getting recruited on the internet from being on games, social media, any kind of social media platform. Parents, you've got to monitor what your kids are doing because they think they're talking to other children, and they're not. They're talking to monsters often.
That's exactly right. You got to be all in your children's business to figure out what's going on, who they're talking to. I want to bring you, speaking of children, they told us that Trinidad and Tobago was just in a few apartment complexes, but it looks like they're all over the country, including New York City. A 12-year-old, an entire gang attacked our cops here in New York City. And then they just released them. What are you going to be doing to get these folks behind prison walls? Because apparently they're just released in New York City.
Yeah, And Lawrence, that's such a shame that they're doing that. It's endangering the lives of citizens, and it's endangering the lives of law enforcement officers when they're doing this. You can't comprehend that cities and states would be so demented to do something like this, to let these violent criminals. Tren de Agua is a terrorist organization. Sinaloa is a terrorist organization. MS-13 is a terrorist organization for a reason. They are highly organized. They are highly violent. They're targeting Americans. They're killing Americans. They're raping Americans. They're bringing guns into this country, no longer under Donald Trump. And we will bring in any resources. Homeland Security Director Noam has been amazing, working with ICE, Tom Homan, and all of our DEI, FBI agents, ATF agents, U.S. Marshals, working hand in hand. We will get these people off our streets. Lawrence, public safety is nonstop. And, you know, even later today, in just a few minutes, I'm going back to the office, and we're meeting with countless family members, Lawrence, of death row inmates. We're meeting with the family members, the victims, who Joe Biden pardoned. He pardoned 37 of the 40 death row inmates. He commuted their sentences and took them off of death row. These families didn't get any notice. Some found out on Christmas Eve. And I'm meeting today in private with all of these families, dozens of families who want to come and they want to vent. They want to tell their story about what happened, some of the most violent murders you can imagine. And Donald Trump now is seeking the death penalty again on new homicides. We've sought 4 since he's been in office, and there will be more.
Well, Madam,
but, you know, we have victims all over the country, Lawrence.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad that the Department of Justice, the FBI, Homeland Security is starting to focus on the victims again and not the criminals. These people just running our country. I'm glad that the president is sending a strong message. We appreciate your service, Madam Attorney General. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you for caring.
You got it, of course.
Like, comment, and follow us on X at Patriot Media GRP.